Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. It's your girl Kay. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, because we're the bomb. We already know this. The world just has to catch up, y'all. Period. Okay? Y'all, I've been in this cycle of, you know how I always say, don't go back to the past. Don't go back to the past. There's nothing back there. And in some way, I feel like I slowly found myself trying to go back there. I did start a devotional called Healing What You Can't Erase, and that's genuinely been very helpful for me, that I've noticed. Basically, healing what you can't erase. There's so many things that you go through. Like, every single day you're going to make a mistake. You're going to make a mistake. We're human. Like, literally, that's just what we do, right? So it's like, you know, because me personally, I have made so many mistakes in my life, and I've not always been the right person. It's like, you know, or I wasn't always the good guy. You know, we're not always the good guy, and that's not always good to hear. It's not easy to hear either. And when you're going over, because we're human, that's what we do. Sometimes we go through the things, especially if you're like on a journey to self-growth. You go through the stuff that you've done in your past, in your mind, and you're like, oh my gosh, how could I do that? I feel so shame. Like, I feel so much shame. I feel so ashamed. Like, and then you may ask questions like, oh my gosh, how could anyone care about me? How could anyone forgive me? How could God forgive me after I did all of that? Because he did. Because as soon as you open your mouth and you prayed and asked him for forgiveness, he threw that baby in the sea of forgetfulness. Boom, gone. We remember. God's already forgiven us, right? And so one thing about shame is it can really have you in a rut. I mean, you start feeling ashamed, and of course, we're none of us are worthy of the love that the Lord gives us, but he's already told us that we're worthy. Right? So why are we still beating ourselves up in our mind about it? He's already forgiven us. A lot of the times we're over here going back and forth and thinking about the things that we've done in our past, and we've already asked God for forgiveness. It's not God, y'all. It's us. We're the ones who are literally torturing ourselves. We're letting those thoughts get in our head, and then the enemy is having a field day with us. Y'all, the only way that we believe something, we all have crazy thoughts. I'm sure we've all had those thoughts where it's like, where the heck did that thought come from? What is going on, baby? Right? But a thought is meaningless until you attach a belief to it. If your brain, you have a thought in your brain and it's like, okay, I'm the freaking I am the most craziest person in the world. I'm just coming up with something random, right? It's just a literal thought. But if you start attaching a belief to that thought, and you start attaching to that thought every single day, saying it out loud, reciting that, constantly thinking that, believing that, that's when that thought becomes a belief. And it's something that can literally ruin your life, right? So when we go through these things from the individuals around us, and sometimes it's not even what's said. Guys, let's look at what was said, right? So me personally, I'm going to use myself as an example, and I'm being very, very vulnerable right now. So this is like really, really big for me, okay? So this was a couple of years ago. I went on a trip with one of my family members, and they had asked me, because they were just like, they moved away from, I live in Florida. They moved away from Florida, and they were like, oh, no one comes and visits me here. Their mom didn't even really want to come down there like that, whatever. So this person was very like, you know, hell bent on me going there. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You know, let me go see, she's my cousin. Let me go see my cousin. I love my cousin. And this is honestly how I was thinking. And I knew in my head and in my heart that my bills were not completely taken care of. And I'm just being completely vulnerable with you guys. So bear with me. Right? And I also really wanted to see her, like, completely honest, wanted to see her, right? So I go down there. It was a little sketch, to say the least. It was just really a weird time, and it was just like not the cousin I remembered, and it was like, what am I doing here, right? Okay, right? So then we go to like an adventure park, and I am overweight, and there was a weight limit, right? And I surpassed the weight limit on whatever it was that we were going to go. And at that time, I was very, very embarrassed. And I didn't really tell the whole story. I was just like, it was like a way I said it. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, oh, well, we can't go on because of the weight limit or something like that. Something like the way I said it, because I was so embarrassed and I felt small. Okay. And so, oh gosh, this is like so hard to talk about, you guys, because I'm still on a weight loss journey, and like, if only you guys knew. But anyway, I just said, oh, you know, we're not feeling comfortable. We're too, like, we can't get on. I don't really remember the exact words. Like, I deleted all the messages and everything. And we were texting back and forth for a little bit, but then after that, like, the text messages ceased on my cousin's end. And so I'm like, okay, so, you know, me and my partner were just there waiting. We're literally just waiting for a text back to see what we're doing. Like, you know, are we leaving here, or can we, you know, we'll just leave and go, and then you guys stay, you know, you guys stay and do your thing or whatever. Because at that point we had split up. And never got a text message or anything back. So it had been like, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes by that time. So me and my partner, we all drove there together in my cousin's car. So we go and we go out to look for our things. It's so hot. Oh my gosh, it is steaming hot, girly. And so we go out there looking for our things, and we don't find anything, or the car is locked. So we're like texting them to open the car, because we were just gonna order a Lyft, go to our hotel, and just wait for you guys. Nothing, no message, no nothing. So at that point, I felt empty. I felt disgusting. I felt horrendous, right? These are all things that made me feel ashamed of myself. And in my head, I'm like, oh, well, they're not texting me back because they're ashamed of me, right? Is it true? I don't know. But at that moment, because of what I felt about myself, I feel that I projected that energy off on my cousin. I don't even know what they felt. All I know is that she didn't text me back. She had nothing else to say. Finito, right? So hours and hours and hours later, maybe 3 to 4 hours later, she calls me and she's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "At the hotel." What do you mean, right? So at that moment, I was kind of like, I don't know exactly how she feels about me, but what I do know is I did not come all the way to Texas to get treated like this from Florida. And I was just over it. I was so over it. And we communicated back and forth. She messaged me. She's like, "You can come and get your things out of my car." And I did. And then we communicated. And then it was like, you know, she was saying how she, all she did was try to bring people together. She didn't do anything wrong. You know, it was kind of one of those things. And who's to say if she's wrong or if she's not, okay? What I do know is that I removed myself from that situation, and I don't plan on going back. I don't like the way I felt, and I just knew that I deserved more than that. And not even necessarily leaving and saying, "Oh, okay, well then we'll all leave." Understandable. But I did deserve recognition. I did deserve a text back, or at least a phone call. At least I felt that I did. Argue with me in the comments. Maybe I didn't to you, but I'm still going to stick with what I believe, because I believe that I deserve that, right? So when you're looking back on, and this is not even the whole story, I just don't want to go deep into it, but when you're looking back on things that you've went through in your past and learning how to heal, it's important to dive deep and see where you could have went wrong and where they could have went wrong. And knowing that you're not always perfect. There was a way that I feel I could have communicated more, right? And spoke my true feelings right at the moment. Who knows if she would have even texted back or called back. But either way, you know what I mean? And it's no one else's fault that I am plus size and that the weight limit was higher or lower than what I was. And it sucked so bad because I was like, I think like 5 pounds away or something. I don't know, something crazy like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh. But after that, I didn't see any reconciliation happening because I felt like, okay, you're playing with me now. Like, I came all the way here knowing I didn't have the money, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, it was my fault. I take full responsibility, right? So it's like, how do you heal from that, right? This was my cousin. Like, we were tight. We were super tight. And we've always had those fallouts because when you're anointed and don't know it, people see it and they treat you like it, right? They treat you so bad at times. And when you love truly, genuinely, you love genuinely. It's like, yeah, I see all that, but I still love you. I may check you, but I'm still going to come back to you because I love you. But you can't constantly go back to someone who keeps hurting you because there's going to be that one time where you get hurt to your core and you're like, how could you do that to me? Well, baby, it's your fault. You let it continue to happen. Some people you can speak up, but it doesn't always work. Some people just don't get it, right? So it's like, how do you heal from that? Because I still love my cousin to my core, right? Do I deal with her? No. Do I have any plans to deal with her? No. Do I ever really want her back into my life? No, I don't. I've been through so much with her already. And that's like literally the bulk of my family. Like, so much, you guys. And as you get to know me more, you will know more information, right? How did I take that and turn it around for my good? For the longest, I didn't. Nope, didn't. For the longest, I loathed myself. Didn't even loathe my cousin, because I can't, right? How is it the world has it so tricked that it's easier to hate yourself than to hate the one that you feel put you through the situation, right? And that was a self-destructive path that I went down. Now I am healing. I said healing. And learning to love my body at all stages. Because my body's not determined by a number. It's not. But I do want to be here for a long time. I want to be happy. I want to be healthy. I want to be thriving in my body. And that is what I'm working on. Right? Loving me at all stages. Because I didn't love me then. Now, I'm healing what I can't erase. I can't erase what happened. But now I'm going to heal from the inside out because everything starts inside, right? And so taking off those old clothes of shame, disgust, guilt, just pure like despise for myself, right? And putting on the clothing of grace, forgiving myself, forgiving the ones who hurt me, and just knowing that I've already forgiven that individual. Already, truly, already forgiven. That's actually why I can talk about it. Because before, woo, like for real. But now I can talk about it. Now I can talk about it because I've forgiven her and I've forgiven my old self and I've hugged my old self and let her know, hey, it gets better. Now you're working on yourself, not because you just want to see a number, but because you love your body. I'm working on my body because I love it, not because I hate it. And I'm sorry that this whole message, I don't really like to center it on me, but Holy Spirit is speaking through me and I'm going to continue to let him do it because this is going to help someone, okay? We're not all the same. Some of us are according to the BMI calculator, right? Underweight. Some of us are overweight. Some of us are at a healthy weight for our BMI, right? We're all in stages, and I'm grateful for where I am because I wasn't always a nicer, smaller person. I've been smaller before, and I wasn't always the nicest. I wasn't. So I'm thankful that I'm here, and I'm learning to love my body in all stages and love other people in all stages. Sometimes God has to put you through it just to get you to it. Okay? All right? Get you to where he wants you to get. But what I do know is I'm going to continue to work on healing what I cannot erase. And that comes in so many forms. Listen, y'all, I want to say lost, but I haven't lost so many people. So many people have been either cut off or, just stop communication. Some people just stop communicating. And at times I'll look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, what could I have done differently? Like, oh, I feel so ashamed because maybe I just wasn't a good enough friend and they decided this or whatever. At one point, I had a friend tell me, I don't know when I would have hit you up, but it may not have been today or tomorrow or next week, but eventually I would have, because, I was like, what did I do? Did I do something to hurt you? Right? Thinking back on that, I could feel ashamed, like I'm just not a good enough friend. I'm not attaching that to myself. I'm an amazing individual on the inside and out, right? How do you heal from that? How do you heal from someone telling you that? You can't erase it. I can't go back. How do I heal from that? Listen, my source is up there. That's the only way I feel like I can. Because this is not easy, but it's worth it. Rejection is God's protection. God is within her. She will not fail, baby. No, she won't. Because while I cannot erase, and like I said, I'm not always right. In every single situation that's happened to me, I'm sure I've done something wrong. Even if I feel like, oh, well, it's all the other person. No, baby. You're not always 100% right. Seldom 100% right. And you need to make peace with that now. But what I do dedicate myself to doing is healing. Because I can't erase it. I cannot. But what I can do, if I am going to reflect, I'm only using that reflection to make me better. I'm not reflecting and constantly brooding over the past, wondering what I could have done differently. I'm healing what I can't erase. I'm healing. That is the key word. Healing. Giving grace and love. God is showing you these people are not good for you. Okay? Don't live in shame. When that shame comes up, baby, rebuke that thought. It's not good for you. I could feel so ashamed, like, oh my gosh, I was such a fatty up there. What good is that going to do for me? That's just going to make the devil happy. And I'm not in that business, baby. No, ma'am. I'm going to heal what I can't erase. I forgive you. I forgive all the ones who've hurt me. Because had I not gone through that, I don't know what kind of person I would be. And I say that all the time. I'm thankful for the struggles. I'm literally starting to be super thankful for the struggles. Because the struggles, like, look at this face. Oh my gosh, this is a girl who's been through a lot of struggles. Give me more. Give me more. Because every single time I get down, I'm telling you, I get back up like, what am I doing? I get back up like a lion. God is within her. She will not fail. Start telling yourselves these affirmations in the morning. When you wake up, spend some time with God. And then after that, spend some time with yourself. I am noble. I am kind. I am brave. I am strong. I am God-fearing. I am worthy. I'm lovable. I'm a good friend. Start telling yourselves these things because we're healing what we cannot erase. We can't go back in the past. Take that shame cover off. Take that coat off, girl. Let me get that coat. Let me get that coat, girl. Let's go give that to the Goodwill. Take that coat of shame off, Pookie Butt. Put on that coat of healing. And take that eraser. Trash it out. Throw it out. Because you can't erase the past, Bookie. But we've got this. We have got this. Healing what you cannot erase. Thank you, Father, for your grace. And extend that grace, guys. Every single situation doesn't have to be a cutoff. Right? But you know when it's time. You know what it is, girl. So, trust your intuition. Trust God. Trust the Holy Spirit with you. Ask him to come into your heart and bless you with that discernment, because you already know. You already know. Okay? Y'all, I enjoyed talking to you guys, and it's almost like I was a little vent session, just a little bit, but it all tied together, I hope. Right? Truthfully, everything I do is for the Lord. I'm not a perfect person. I don't even really call myself a Christian, okay? I just know I love the Lord. Does that mean I'm perfect? Heck no. Heck no. Heck no. And I don't want to be. That's God's job. He's very good at it, okay? I would crush that job, baby. Crush it. Not in a good way, okay? So I don't want to be perfect. No, thank you, right? But I thank him that he's perfect. And I thank him for his grace, his love, his mercy, and his everything, girl. Because without him, I am nothing. I am nothing, nothing. So yeah. I really enjoyed this time with you guys. And just know that y'all got this. Y'all got this. There's no more shame. Take that coat of shame off. Put it in the comments. Coat of shame, be gone. Do we have, I don't know if there's a coat emojis, if there's coat emojis, but if there is, drop them coat emojis in the comments, because we're taking off that coat of shame and guilt and fear, because people pleasing is not love, it's fear. It's fear. Just say no. Say no. I'm going into a whole other word, so let me just shut up right now. But yeah, y'all got this. Today is Monday, Thursday. So, and tomorrow's Good Friday. So yes, y'all. I hope you guys are enjoying your week. And yeah, leave me a comment, drop me a comment. You guys have been a little more active. Thank you for the new subscribers. The Lord is showing out like always. And yeah, we're doing this for the long haul, y'all. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, so don't even play with it. Y'all remember to keep God first, and you are the CEO of your life, Pookie Butt. Okay? Hire, fire, and promote accordingly. Y'all stay tuned for more. Bye.